Listen to me when I say *rise grand*. I'm not talking about standing up. I'm talking about rising in a way that shakes the ground beneath you. Rising in a way that forces your old limits to move out of your way. Rising in a way that tells every excuse, every setback, every fear, you can't hold me anymore. Most people stay small not because they don't have potential, but because they've convinced themselves that survival is enough. They wake up just to make it through the day. They show up with the mindset of "I hope things go well," instead of "I'm about to make things happen." If you're going to rise grand, that mentality has to die. You have to bury the version of you that keeps asking for permission to be great. When you rise grand, you stop waiting for comfort to come save you. You stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. You get up and you get after it because you know your dream doesn't care about your feelings. Your purpose doesn't check the weather. Your calling doesn't ask you if you're tired. Rising grand means you show up anyway. You show up when you're overlooked. You show up when you're exhausted. You show up when no one texts you, checks on you, or claps for you. You rise because there is something inside you that refuses to shrink just because life tried to break you. There comes a point where you have to make a decision. Am I going to live reacting to life, or am I going to rise and take control of it? That's what rising grand is. It's taking your life back from fear, from procrastination, from every mindset that kept you small. It's saying, "I'm done settling, I'm done folding, I'm done letting my circumstances write my story." And when you make that decision, something powerful happens. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens. You stop chasing validation and start chasing results. You stop seeking comfort and start seeking growth. Understand this. Rising grand doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you get stronger. It means you stop letting challenges intimidate you because you finally realize they were designed to shape you. You stop hiding from responsibility because you understand it's the gateway to becoming who you were built to be. You rise grand when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, when you finally say, "I owe myself more than this. I owe my future more than excuses. I owe my purpose more than halfway effort." It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not even about resources. It's about the decision you make the moment you look at your reflection and refuse to walk into another day living beneath your potential. And if you're truly ready to rise grand, then you must be willing to do something most people won't. You must decide that the version of you who quit, who hesitated, who dimmed their own light cannot come with you. You rise grand by choosing to expand, choosing to stretch, choosing to grow, choosing to walk with a fire in your chest and a conviction in your spirit that says, "This is my moment. This is my time, and nobody, nothing will stop me from rising." Rise grand. When we talk about evolving, we're not talking about simple improvement. We're talking about radical transformation. We're talking about outgrowing the version of you that was comfortable, predictable, familiar, even if that version has protected you for years. Evolution demands honesty. It makes you look at your habits, your patterns, your excuses, and ask, are these things helping me go forward, or are they keeping me where I've been stuck? Most people want elevation without evolution, but it doesn't work like that. You don't get the next level with the same mindset that kept you surviving but never thriving. There is a version of you right now that's fighting for its life because it knows you're trying to leave it behind. That old mindset wants you to stay in the cycle. That comfort zone wants you to stay predictable. That fear wants you to stay quiet, stay small, stay hidden. But listen, growth is supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. Evolution doesn't feel good, but it produces good. You can't evolve while clinging to old habits that feed your weakness. You can't evolve by defending excuses that are destroying your potential. You can't evolve if you keep giving energy to things that drain you more than they develop you. There comes a moment in every person's life where they must confront the truth. The person you were yesterday cannot carry you into the future you keep praying for. The discipline you avoided, the boundaries you refused to set, the commitment you ran from, those are the things that stand between who you are and who you know you can be. And until you make the decision to evolve, your life will keep cycling in the same patterns disguised as new seasons. You'll think life is repeating, but really it's waiting. It's waiting on you to grow into the capacity necessary for the blessing you're asking for. Evolution means you stop arguing for your limitations. You stop protecting the behaviors that are breaking you. You stop entertaining the environments that shrink you. You stop trying to stay loyal to versions of yourself that were only meant to be temporary. You stop saying, "That's just how I am," and start saying, "That's who I refuse to be any longer." Evolution isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming who you were always supposed to be once you stop settling. And listen, evolving means there will be moments where you feel alone. Not because you're abandoned, but because you're being elevated. You're shedding weight that can't go with you. You're separating from patterns that no longer align with the person you're becoming. You're learning to outgrow environments that were only meant for your old potential. Growth will cost you people, habits, and comfort, but what you gain is clarity, strength, and alignment with your purpose. If you truly want to evolve, make a decision today. Stop returning to versions of yourself you've already outgrown. Stop letting old triggers pull you back into old behaviors. Stop letting yesterday's mindset dictate tomorrow's promise. You evolve the moment you realize that your future deserves a stronger, wiser, more disciplined version of you, and you decide to become that person relentlessly. Evolve. Energy, let's talk about it, because some of you are talented, gifted, called even, but your energy does not match your assignment. You say you want greatness, but your effort looks like you're okay with average. You talk about big dreams with low energy, low urgency, low consistency. That's a mismatch. You can't ask for a grand life while giving small energy. You can't expect to dominate your space when you keep showing up halfway present, halfway focused, halfway locked in. Your energy is your message before you say a word. It tells the world how serious you are. It tells your goals whether you're playing or you're committed. You have to understand, you don't rise, you don't evolve, you don't step into your next level without owning your energy. Your energy is your currency. It buys your discipline. It funds your focus. It pays for your resilience. When your energy is low for the things that matter and high for the distractions that drain you, your future is being robbed in plain sight. You can't keep spending your best energy on gossip, scrolling, complaining, and then give your purpose what's left over. You can't keep giving your grind your leftovers and expect full results. There are rooms you walk into right now where you let the atmosphere dictate your energy. If the room is dull, you become dull. If people around you are unmotivated, you dim your fire to match their temperature. That has to stop. When you are serious about your calling, you don't let the room change you. You change the room. You walk in with energy that says, "I came here to execute. I came here to grow. I came here to win." Even if nobody else is on that wave, you stay locked in. Why? Because your dream doesn't belong to them. Your assignment was not given to them. Your life is your responsibility, and your energy is your weapon. Some of you are waiting on motivation to appear before you give your best, but domination doesn't come from motivation. It comes from intention. It comes from deciding that no matter how you feel, there is a standard for your energy. You don't negotiate that standard. You don't dial it down because you're tired. You don't turn it off because nobody is watching. You bring intensity to your preparation, your practice, your private moments. That's where real dominance is built. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows where you decide, every time I touch this work, I'm giving it everything I've got. Owning your energy also means protecting it. You can't dominate your day if you keep feeding off negativity. You can't have a powerful mind with a reckless environment. You have to be intentional about what you allow in your space. Who drains you, what distracts you, what habits leave you empty instead of energized. You can't afford to be casual about that. Guard your focus, guard your peace, guard your grind, not because you're fragile, but because what you're carrying is too important to be contaminated. If you truly want to rise grand and evolve, you must decide that from this day forward your energy will reflect your destiny, not your mood, not your circumstances, not your past. You walk into every day, every room, every opportunity with a fire that says, I'm here on purpose and I'm here to dominate your space. Commitment, this is the part most people avoid because it requires more than excitement. It requires more than hype. It requires more than those moments when you're fired up and ready to conquer the world. Commitment shows up when the feeling leaves. Commitment shows up when nobody is cheering. Commitment shows up when the results are slow, the progress is invisible, and life hits you with everything you didn't plan for. You can get inspired anywhere but commitment. That's built in silence, in sacrifice, in the parts of the journey nobody sees and nobody celebrates. That's where transformation is born. So many people want change but refuse the cost. They want the reward without the repetition. They want breakthroughs without the breakdowns that taught them discipline. They want strength without struggle, consistency without discomfort. But hear this clearly, you cannot rise grand, you cannot evolve, you cannot dominate your space if you don't commit beyond inspiration. Inspiration lights the spark, but commitment keeps the fire burning on the days you're drenched in doubt, stress, or exhaustion. Commitment is when you look at your excuses and tell them, you're not stronger than my purpose. Commitment is when you stop quitting every time it gets hard and start pushing because it's hard. That's how you grow. When you commit, you're not moved by external noise. You're not waiting for someone to motivate you. You're not dependent on applause or approval. Commitment means your actions preach louder than your emotions. It means you show up even when your body says rest and your mind says don't bother. Commitment teaches you to honor your future more than your feelings. It forces you to dig into levels of discipline and focus you didn't know you had. And the crazy thing, once you activate that level of commitment, your life starts shifting, your opportunities shift, your circle shifts, your identity shifts, because now your energy says, I'm serious, I'm consistent, I'm locked in. And listen, commitment doesn't mean perfection. You will mess up, you will have off days, you will fall short sometimes, but the difference is you don't stay down. You don't give up because the process punched you. You get back up with more hunger, more drive, more understanding of who you're becoming. Commitment is not about never stumbling. It's about refusing to stay at the level your mistakes tried to hold you at. You learn, you adjust, you keep going. That's how transformation happens. Not in a single moment, but in the decision to rise every time you fall. The truth is, most people never step into their greatness because they never commit long enough to see what greatness looks like. They quit right before the breakthrough. They walk away right before the shift. They settle right before the moment everything starts aligning. But you, if you're listening to this, your future can't afford your half effort anymore. Your dream is too important to treat like a hobby. Your purpose is too valuable to give it part-time commitment. You've got to lock in like your life depends on it, because the life you want absolutely does. commit beyond inspiration and transform,